Hi there, and today in this video we are going to be looking at how we can convert the following decimals into percents. So our I can statement for today is I can convert decimals into percents. Okay? And to do this, all you need to do is move the decimal 2 spaces to the right. So the right is this direction. So wherever you see the decimal, you are simply going to take it and move it 2 spots over and put it right in that new spot, and you'll be done. So when I say 45 hundredths, friendly reminder that I'm saying it out loud. That's how I make it a fraction. And you guys know anything out of 100 is a percent. So automatically, if I'm trying to make this a percent, it's that simple. And you can see here, if I had just taken this and gone once, twice, there's the 45%. Now, none of us feel like reducing 875 thousandths. If we did reduce so that the denominator was out of 100, we would just divide both of these by 10, and I'd get an 87.5 up here. But we don't want to do all this math. So our little shortcut, we can just move this thing twice, and that's where I'm going to get my 87.5%, y'all. Now off to the side, I'm just going to mention that you guys know 0.5 is 50%. So if you ever see a decimal and you move it twice and it doesn't have a number there, you're just going to fill it in with a 0. So number 3 here, it could have just been a 0.2, and it's the same as me seeing 0.20, and that's going to be a 20%. 0.75 is 75%. I'm just moving the decimal over twice. And as you guys are taking notes, definitely make sure you do the little shoop shoop for every problem. So number 5, for example, when you go shoop shoop, it's still in between these, and we're going to put a 0.6%. You can have a percent that's a decimal. You can have less than a percent of something. This is less than 1%. This is 0.6%. Now, if I have 44 hundredths, anything out of 100 is automatically a percent. So I can see my little shortcut, just move it twice and it'll work. Here's another one, though, that if we move it twice, it's in between some numbers. So this one would be a 3.2%. And for this one, when you have your 0.19, this is going to be a 19%. So at this point, if you want to pause the video and then just try 9 through 16 on your own and hit play to see if you were right, that's fine. Or you can keep watching me. This is one where, since if I move it twice, there's nothing there, I need to fill this in with a 0. So this one is going to be 60%. When I move this one twice, y'all, I still got 2 numbers left over. I have a 0.01%, but I'm going to put 0.01%. You don't have to. You could just put 0.01%. I'm a 0 point person. All right, when I move this one over twice, I get 5%. 5%. This is going to be a 5.25%. Then you get a 0.3%. When I move that over twice, it's still in front of the 3, so I'm going to put a 0.3%. All right, now when I move this one over twice, I have 0.82 left over. I move this twice, I get 0.82 left, so I'm going to put a 0.082%. And now I'm going to move this over twice, so I have a 0.5001, 0.5001%. And I'm just going to put a 0 point in front of it. And last but not least, when I say this, I've said 1/10. So if it's 1 out of 10, and a percent is always out of 100, I could just do times 10 to get that. So times 10 to get this. And there's my 10%. I keep telling y'all we're not trying to deal with all these fractions anymore. So you got a little shortcut. You can just move it over twice, and that's the 10%. Now we can convert whole numbers into a percent. Of course we can. For example, you guys know that 1 whole is 100%. So then 2 wholes would be 200%. Go ahead and jot that down. So we can have percents bigger than 100. So like if you see the decimal, y'all, 8.03, same thing, just move it over twice. 8 3/100 is 803%. 4 wholes and then some more of another is going to be 400% with a little extra. So again, just move this decimal over twice and there's the 412.5. For this one with the 22, I don't see a decimal, so I'm going to put 22.0 and move this over once, twice. So this one is 2,220%. Oh, sorry, just 2,200. Sorry, 2,200%. I did not mean to say the 20. And for this one, when I move it over twice, I'm going to fill it in with a 0. So 3,040%. 3,040%. Now this seems really easy. I get that. You're probably like, why did you even make a video to teach me to just move 2 places to the right? Well, really, this is easy. It's just when we're going backwards and converting percents to decimals, you just might get confused when you go to the right versus when you go to the left. So if we're going now from, let me highlight this just so it stands out. If we're going from percents to decimals, we're now going to be moving the decimal 2 spaces to the left. It's the opposite direction now. So make sure you fill in these blanks. Again, if we're going from percents to decimals, we're just moving the decimal 2 spaces to the left. So if I got my percent, I'm going to go shoop, shoop, and that's where I get my 0.68. 68% is the same as saying 68 out of 100. And 68 out of 100 is 68 hundredths. So there's my decimal. It all lines up. But again, I know you guys aren't trying to deal with these fractions, so that's why I keep saying we can just move the decimal. 30%, I'm just going to go shoop, shoop. There's my 0.30. And if I have a 4.7, you can see I moved it back once and then twice, and I do have to fill in a 0 here. So I have 0.47, 0.047. If you want to put 0.68, 0.30, 0.047, totally fine by me. Now this one, see how I've got my 08? I already have that there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it back once, twice. So I have this red 0 and another red 0 that I need to put right here. When I have my 0.2%, I'm leaving my 2 there, and I'm going to go shoop, shoop, and I'm going to fill in with a 0. And you can see I've got 2 in red here. Boom, boom. Now with this one, let me just kind of open up a new page to make sure you guys see what we're doing here. It started out as a 0.2%. I went 1, 2 to make it a decimal, so I've got this filled in. So if I were to go backwards the other way, this was the first part of the video. Notice you're now going from a decimal to a percent. You would go 1, 2, and still tell me that it was a 0.2% for that one. So that's how we're just going back and forth, either to the left or to the right. All right, I am back with you guys now. I'm on number 6. So 64.5%. I'm just going to go back once, twice, 0.645, donezo. And again, if you want to put like the 0 point in front of all of these, that's just a matter of personal preference. You can decide how you feel about that for yourself. All right, here, just going back once, twice. So there's my 0.2775, 775. Now here I have my 7, my 1, and my 0 that I left, and I knew if I went back 1, there's that 0. And then I'm going to fill it in with this purple 0 right there. So just be careful. When I move my decimal, I've got 1, 2. I moved the decimal twice. So I count here 1, 2, 3 zeros that need to be in my final answer. And when I move this bad boy back twice, there's the 6.012. All right, now I want you to pause the video, and I want you to try these 8 on your own. Pause the video, and then when you're done, I want you to hit play and see if you were right, okay? So now that you've tried these on your own, if we're making each of these percents a decimal, I'm just going to go back twice. So this one should be a 0.89. This one would be a 6.0, or just a 6. This would be a 0.091. This would be a 14.81, because again, you're just going once, twice. Once, twice. All right, 2.176. All right, if I take this one, this 0.29, and I go back twice, I'm going to go 1, 2. So I'm going to fill it in with 2 zeros there, 0.0029. And again, it seems very easy when these problems are all together. You're like, okay, I'm just moving 2 times to the left. But it's really when it's all mixed up, like if you're converting a fraction versus a decimal versus a percent, you just have to kind of ask yourself, which way should I be moving the decimal? All right, for this one, it's a 0.7001. And for this one, when I move it twice, it's 72 wholes. 72 wholes would be 7,200%. If one whole is 100%, 72 wholes is 7,200%. Okay? And that concludes the video for how to convert back and forth between decimals and percents or percents and decimals. Thank you.